Shalom, call Limelight Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, who rule and teach well, and a sincere shalom to the 144,001 Now, this is going to be a relatively quick video being titled A Falling Away First. According to prophecy, the Israelites would go into captivity under their enemies and forget their heritage, which is being of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. And of course, being kicked out of our land, having our scriptures stripped from us, so on and so forth. So let's dive straight to the point. This is the book of Jeremiah, 17th chapter, and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. So what is that going into? That's going into the Israelites going into captivity here in what we know as today as the Americas. All right. Now, as we know, the Northern Kingdom was already over here before Esau came and put them into captivity. Now, it's not a popular thing here in the U.S. specifically and across the world, because the world has wandered after the beast. So the world doesn't understand, for the most part, that so-called Native Americans and Hispanics, which is the Northern Kingdom, went into captivity. It's not very talked about, right? It's not widely known as the so-called blacks being in captivity, but the so-called natives of the Americas, which are the stock of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, went in captivity under these fucking Edomites, man, these devils. And that's why they get the name Hispanic. And I see it was one Issacharite brother, man. He had a lot of tattoos all over his body, but he was very wise, right? He knew about he knew he was an Israelite. He knew the 12 tribes. I believe he knew the names, and he knew the history on how the Northern Kingdom came over here. So he was going, and he broke down the meaning between, what was it, Hispanic and I can't remember. It was either Hispanic and Latino, or I think it was, because you'll hear, right, Hispanic and Latino, right? So you'll hear those two different phrases, and you got to ask yourself, what is that coming from? So the Issacharite brother was saying how the 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 reason why they were called Latino and Latina was from being under the Greek captivity. Now, I didn't do my research on that. He's the only person I heard say that, so I'll take that with a grain of salt. But he could be historically correct. And then, of course, the part where he is, I know for a fact he's correct, is why they're called Hispanic is from the Spaniard captivity, because the Spaniards were the main ones fucking up the Northern Kingdom. That's why they speak Spanish, you see. Christopher Columbus was under the, what was he, quote unquote, blessed to come over here by the Queen of Spain or some bullshit like that. And he was saying how his people, our people, figured out how to come over here by having pots full of water to reflect the stars, so they could essentially look at the stars through the pots. They didn't have to look up; they could just look down at the pots. And that's that falling away, because all that knowledge, and of course the knowledge of them being Israelites, was stripped away. So let's go to this is Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So that falling away has to come before what? Yahweh Shai makes his return. So as we know, through the siege of 70 AD, so on and so forth. Of course, there's other things going on before and after that that led to the 12 tribes falling away. And as we know, those small hats over there say they always knew they were Israelites, man. You see? Now let's go back to where were we? Jeremiah 17 and 4. I want to make this point, and then I'm gonna jump to Genesis 27. So this is Jeremiah 17 and 4. And the main point where I want to get right here is, it says, "And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not." And that's talking about the Edomites, because the Edomites, Esau is the number one enemy of Israel, all right, whose name was changed to Israel. His original name was Jacob. This is Genesis. Go to the book of Genesis. It's Salakia. My nose is a bit stuffy and running. This is Genesis 27th chapter, in verse 41. And it reads, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then when I'll slay my brother Jacob." So they're twin brothers, paternal twin brothers, and they're enemies, man. And they're enemies because Esau's a fucking dirtbag. All right, let's go to Baruch. I know I said this video is going to be relatively short. This is Baruch, 2nd chapter, verse 30. And it reads, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves." So, in the land of captivity, all right, and this is talking about now, because all the other captivities that we've been in, we still knew we were Israelites. We still had the scriptures. We still had the names. We still had all of that. All right, we still had our heritage, our inheritance, so to speak. But here in the Americas, that was beaten up out of us, man. And this is prophecy, biblical prophecy. Now let's go to Romans. This is the book of Romans, 8th chapter, verse 16. "The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High." So the key word I want to get there is the Spirit, because you're going to have Israelites out here that look like Edomites, so-called white people, Moabites. All right, you have Israelites out here looking like the other nations, Ishmaelites, Elamites, because we've been scattered to those nations. So to truly know, and you're gonna have these other heathen nations looking like Israelites too. So tares, right? So in order to understand who goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the understanding of these scriptures. Now let's go to Matthew, Saint Matthew, 24th chapter. I'm gonna end this off here. So this is Matthew 24th chapter and verse 14. In this gospel of the kingdom, so that's how you know you 100% for sure know who's an Israelite is by the gospel, man. Especially when it comes to being a part of the hopeful elect. In this gospel of the kingdom, which is what? The kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of Yahweh Yahushai, shall be preached in all the world. Why does it need to be preached in all the world? Because the Israelites were scattered into all nations for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So the end shall not come until this word has been preached, ultimately to reach the elect. All right, and then the Most High is going to make that next move through Esau, right? The Elohim, the elect, making big moves. So that's it for this lesson. Otto One Rotterdam was edifying. Shalom.